The Xaltronians arrived on a quiet Tuesday afternoon, their massive ships blotting out the sun and casting long shadows over cities and towns. Panic spread quickly as people turned to their phones, flooding social media with images and videos of the alien invasion. Hashtags like #AlienInvasion and #Xaltronians attack began trending within minutes. In the small town of Riverside, Alex, a high school science teacher, watched the news unfold with a mix of disbelief and fear. He was at home, grading papers, when his phone buzzed incessantly. He picked it up to see frantic messages from his students and friends. "Mr. Hayes, what's going on? Are we under attack?" one student texted. Alex quickly turned on the TV, and the news confirmed his worst fears. The Xaltronians had landed, and their intentions were clear: they were here to conquer. Just a few blocks away, Jamie, a tech-savvy college student, was in the middle of a live stream about the latest video games when her feed was interrupted by breaking news. She stared at the screen, her followers bombarding her with questions. "Jamie, do you see this? What should we do?" one viewer asked. Jamie ended her stream abruptly and rushed to her window, her eyes widening at the sight of the alien ships. She grabbed her phone and started recording, narrating what she saw for her thousands of followers. "This is insane," she said, her voice shaking. "The aliens are really here." As the day turned into a chaotic night, Alex decided to head to the local community center, where the town's emergency meeting was being held. He felt a strange sense of duty to help, even though he had no idea how. At the community center, the mayor was struggling to maintain order. People were shouting, demanding answers and solutions. Alex spotted Jamie in the crowd, her phone still recording. "Jamie, over here," Alex called out. Jamie turned and made her way through the crowd to Alex. "Mr. Hayes, what do we do?" she asked, her usually confident demeanor shaken. Alex took a deep breath. "We need to stay calm and organize. We have to protect ourselves and our town." The mayor, overhearing their conversation, stepped forward. "Alex, Jamie, can you help? We need leaders, people who can think on their feet." Alex nodded. "Of course, Mayor, we'll do what we can." Jamie looked at Alex, her eyes determined. "Yeah, let's do this." Together, Alex and Jamie started coordinating efforts to set up defenses around the town. They used social media to communicate and organize volunteers, sharing real-time updates and strategies. Videos of their efforts began to go viral, showing people across the globe that resistance was possible. As night fell, Riverside was transformed into a bastion of hope and defiance. The townspeople, inspired by Alex and Jamie's leadership, rallied together, ready to face whatever came next. The next morning, the town of Riverside was buzzing with activity. The community center had become a makeshift command post, with maps, plans, and messages pinned all over the walls. Alex and Jamie were at the center of it all, coordinating efforts and keeping spirits high. Alex glanced at Jamie, who was busy on her laptop. "How are we looking on supplies?" he asked. Jamie didn't look up. "We've got enough food and water for a few weeks, but weapons are another story. I've been in touch with some people online, though. They're sharing blueprints for makeshift weapons using household items." Alex nodded. "Good. We'll need every advantage we can get." Outside, the townspeople were hard at work fortifying buildings and setting up traps. Kids who would normally be in school were helping out, guided by their parents and older siblings. The sense of unity was palpable. In the midst of the preparations, a loudspeaker crackled to life. "Attention, Riverside, this is Mayor Thompson. We have received reports of Xaltronian scouts in the area. Everyone, be on high alert. Stay indoors if you can, and report any sightings immediately." Alex turned to Jamie. "We need to find a way to track their movements. Any ideas?" Jamie grinned. "Actually, I do. I've been working on hacking into their communication signals. If I can decode their language, we might be able to anticipate their next moves." "That's brilliant," Alex said, impressed. "Keep at it." As Jamie worked on her laptop, Alex walked around the center, checking in with various groups. He stopped by a table where a group of teenagers was assembling drones. "How's it going here?" Alex asked. One of the teens, a boy named Ethan, looked up. "We're almost ready. These drones can carry small cameras and some light explosives. They'll be our eyes in the sky." "Great job, Ethan. We'll need those drones for reconnaissance." By late afternoon, the first wave of Xaltronian scouts appeared at the edge of town. The townspeople, now organized and ready, watched from their positions. The tension was thick as the alien scouts moved cautiously, unaware of the traps set for them. Suddenly, one of the scouts triggered a tripwire, setting off a series of loud explosions. The townspeople cheered, their spirits lifted by the small victory. The scouts retreated, clearly startled. Jamie's laptop beeped, drawing her attention. "Alex, I think I've got something," she said excitedly. "I've decoded part of their signal. They're planning a larger assault tonight." Alex's face grew serious. "Then we need to be ready. Spread the word. Everyone needs to know what's coming." As night fell, Riverside was a hive of activity. Alex and Jamie moved through the streets, checking defenses and boosting morale. People gathered around fires, sharing stories and laughing, trying to keep their fears at bay. Jamie paused, looking at Alex. "You think we can really do this?" she asked quietly. Alex put a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "We have to. We've come this far, and we're not giving up now." The sound of approaching ships filled the air, and everyone tensed. The final preparations were made, and the townspeople took their positions, ready to defend their home. The night was eerily silent, save for the distant hum of approaching Xaltronian ships. The townspeople of Riverside held their breath, waiting for the inevitable clash. Alex and Jamie stood at the forefront, their eyes scanning the dark horizon. "Remember," Alex called out, "we stick to the plan. We know our strengths and we've prepared for this. Stay strong, and we'll get through it." Jamie nodded, her fingers hovering over her laptop's keyboard. She had managed to hack into the Xaltronian communication network and was feeding real-time updates to their defenders. Drones buzzed overhead, providing aerial surveillance and a crucial early warning system. Suddenly, bright lights pierced the darkness as the Xaltronians began their assault. The first wave of alien troops advanced, their high-pitched war cries filling the air. The townspeople, armed with makeshift weapons and reinforced by their barricades, braced themselves. "Here they come," Jamie shouted, her voice carried by the wind. The battle was fierce. The Xaltronians, with their advanced technology, initially seemed unstoppable. But Riverside's defenders fought back with a ferocity and ingenuity that took the invaders by surprise. Traps were sprung, catching the Xaltronians off guard. Explosions lit up the night as improvised devices were deployed with deadly precision. In the midst of the chaos, Alex found himself face to face with a Xaltronian warrior. The alien towered over him, its eyes glowing menacingly. Alex gripped his makeshift spear, heart pounding. "This is for Riverside," he yelled, thrusting the spear forward. The Xaltronian staggered back, wounded but not defeated. Alex's resolve hardened as he engaged in a desperate struggle, finally bringing the alien down with a decisive blow. Meanwhile, Jamie coordinated the defense from her command center. Her fingers flew over the keyboard, issuing commands and relaying crucial information. She noticed a pattern in the Xaltronians' movements and quickly devised a counter-strategy. "Alex, they're trying to flank us from the east," she shouted into her radio. "Got it," Alex responded, rallying a group of defenders to reinforce the vulnerable side. The tide of battle began to turn. The townspeople, inspired by their initial successes and the unyielding leadership of Alex and Jamie, fought with renewed vigor. Viral videos of their exploits spread like wildfire, galvanizing resistance efforts far beyond Riverside. People from neighboring towns and even other countries began to join the fight, bringing additional resources and morale. As dawn approached, the Xaltronians' advance slowed. Their once unassailable forces were now in disarray, outmaneuvered by the human defenders. The final push came as the townspeople launched a coordinated counterattack, driving the remaining invaders back towards their ships. Jamie watched the retreating aliens on her screen, a smile of relief spreading across her face. "We did it," she whispered. Alex, bloodied but unbowed, joined her. "This isn't over yet, but we've shown them what humanity is capable of." The Xaltronians retreated, their ships lifting off and disappearing into the sky. The townspeople erupted in cheers, embracing one another and celebrating their hard-won victory. But Alex and Jamie knew this was just the beginning. The Xaltronians would regroup and return, but now humanity had a fighting chance. They had discovered their strengths and shown the world that even in the face of overwhelming odds, they could stand united and strong. The morning sun cast long shadows over the battlefield, illuminating the aftermath of the fierce struggle. The townspeople of Riverside were exhausted but triumphant. The once quiet town had transformed into a symbol of human resilience and defiance. Alex and Jamie stood at the community center, now the heart of the resistance effort. Around them, people were tending to the wounded, repairing defenses, and preparing for the next inevitable clash. The viral videos of their battle had drawn attention worldwide, and supplies and reinforcements were pouring in from all corners of the globe. We did it, Alex, Jamie said, her voice a mix of pride and exhaustion. But we can't let our guard down. The Xaltronians will be back. Alex nodded, his face grim but determined. I know, but we've shown them that we won't go down without a fight. Just then, a drone buzzed overhead and landed nearby. Ethan, the teenager who had helped assemble the drones, rushed over to retrieve it. You guys need to see this, he said, handing over the footage. On the screen, the drone had captured images of a large Xaltronian ship hovering on the outskirts of town, unloading more troops and equipment. It was clear that the invaders were regrouping for a final, decisive assault. We don't have much time, Jamie said, already formulating a plan. We need to strike first and catch them off guard. Alex agreed. Let's gather everyone. We need to hit them with everything we've got. Within hours, the townspeople had mobilized. Makeshift tanks, drones, and an array of captured alien weapons were prepared for the offensive. Inspirational messages and videos flooded social media, rallying support from other resistance groups around the world. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting the town in a golden glow, the final preparations were made. Alex and Jamie stood before the gathered defenders, their faces illuminated by the flickering lights of campfires. This is it, Alex said, his voice carrying over the hushed crowd. We've fought hard, and we've shown them what humanity is made of. Tonight, we take the fight to them. For our families, for our future, for Earth. The crowd erupted in cheers, the fear replaced by steely determination. Jamie added, remember, we're not alone. The whole world is watching and supporting us. Let's show them what we can do. The townspeople moved out, advancing towards the Xaltronian encampment. The element of surprise was on their side. As they approached, Jamie hacked into the alien communication systems, creating confusion and chaos among the Xaltronians. The attack was swift and brutal. The Xaltronians, caught off guard by the humans' unconventional tactics and sheer determination, struggled to mount a defense. Explosions lit up the night as Riverside's defenders unleashed their full arsenal. In the midst of the battle, Alex found himself once again in hand-to-hand combat with a Xaltronian warrior. This time, he was ready. Using the skills he had honed over the past weeks, he fought with a newfound confidence, finally defeating his opponent. Jamie, coordinating the attack from her command center, provided crucial intel that allowed the human forces to outmaneuver and overwhelm the Xaltronians. The battle raged on, but it was clear that the tide had turned in favor of the defenders. As the first light of dawn broke, the remaining Xaltronians began to retreat, their forces decimated and their morale shattered. The humans had won. Cheers erupted across the battlefield as the last of the alien ships lifted off and disappeared into the sky. Alex and Jamie stood together, watching the sunrise over a town that had become a beacon of hope and resilience. We did it, Jamie said, tears of relief streaming down her face. Alex hugged her tightly. We did, and now the whole world knows what we're capable of. News of the victory spread quickly, and the story of Riverside's triumph became a global sensation. People everywhere were inspired by the tale of ordinary humans rising to become ultimate warriors. The viral videos and messages had done more than just rally support, they had ignited a fire in the hearts of millions. The Xaltronians were defeated, but the journey had forged a new sense of unity and strength among humanity. They were ready for whatever challenges lay ahead, knowing that together, they could overcome anything.